and safe. Anybody here? Great. The coast is clear, and now I can come out of that closet because they're all gone. And there's something I really want to talk to you about that's really important. So this is the Kazdoy closet. I'm Kazdoy. That's the closet. Let's talk about it. Here's the topic. It's of great importance, and the topic is, who was the best Batman? Now let's run down the list. We have Michael Keaton. We have Val Kilmer. Remember him as Batman? We had George Clooney, and we had Christian Bale. And pretty soon, Robert Pattinson is going to be in a film called The Batman. And those guys are all great. I'm not going to trash any of them. However, I do think that for my money, the best Batman was Adam West. Now, you could say, oh, you mean the original Batman. And I found out that's not true, because there used to be a serial, and this is the DVD version of it, back in the 40s of Batman and then Batman and Robin. This is a DVD called Gotham City Serials, a compilation. And Batman was played by Lewis Wilson and then later by Robert Bluray. I had never heard of either one of them. And I haven't seen this yet either. Looking forward to it. The clips I've seen doesn't look that great, but should be fun anyways. So Adam West was in the original TV series, the only TV series, in 1966 to 67, I believe. And the reason why I think he was the best Batman, well, there were a few reasons. One is, all those other guys that I mentioned, they pretty much played Batman the same way. And then Christian Bale, of course, played it very dark. It looks like the Robert Pattinson one's going to be very dark too. But they basically played them the same way, kind of the Dark Knight vision of Batman. And I have no qualms about that. I read the original Frank Miller comic, graphic novel about the Dark Knight, and I enjoyed it. But there's something about the Adam West Batman in the 60s. There's a certain innocence about it and a certain lighthearted quality about it, and that he also played it differently. Now, of course, he came before those other guys, but he had a different acting style. He had a wink, kind of a smirk. I think the kids took it seriously. I know I did when I was 10 years old when it first came on. And I know parents probably thought it was pretty corny and pretty silly. And that's probably why my mom would walk in the room while I was watching and say, "Why are you watching this? It's so dumb." But I took it seriously, and it was on 2 nights a week. It was on, I think, Wednesday and Thursday. And on Wednesday, the first episode of the week, they had a cliffhanger, and Batman and Robin were in some sort of a torture device or something that the villain created, and as the seasons went on, they got more and more ridiculous, and how he got out of those situations got more and more ridiculous. And for some reason, the villains always left the room while giving Batman a opportunity to get out of that situation, and they were always surprised that he was still alive later on. So it's a lot of fun to watch, a lot of nostalgia for it. I even had a Viewmaster, if you remember some of those. It was a little projector device you held up to your eyes, and it had like a round series of slides, and you click it and you see 3D images of whatever it was you bought. In my case, it was a Batman series. Adam West's acting style in the show Batman, he describes in some of the bonus episodes or the bonus features in the Blu-ray box I'm going to show you later during this video. And his style and his approach was that Batman was always musing about something, trying to analyze, figure out what these villains were up to, and speaking very slowly to Robin, trying to understand. And once he got it, he started to speak really fast and said, "Come on, let's go. We got to go back to the Batcave. We got to get the Batmobile. We got to go." And that was his style, and it worked really well. Now, it was on for 3 seasons, and in my opinion, each season got goofier and goofier. I don't know if it's because by the 3rd season they knew that they were going to go off the air, but it was sort of, the jokes came faster, the throwaway lines came more often. It was jokier, even though Adam West said he always considered the show a comedy. It got looser and looser as it went along. And there were so many episodes per season. For example, season 3 had 60 episodes. Now, granted, they were on twice a week, but still, that's 30 weeks. That's quite a few episodes, especially compared to today, right? And another thing I liked is, as it went on, as you got more cameos. You had, especially when Batman and Robin were walking up the side of a building with their rope, and maybe a window would open and Sammy Davis Jr. would pop his head out and say something, or Jerry Lewis. And Milton Berle showed up as a security guard in one of them. And you also had great villains for Adam West to play off of. Cesar Romero as the Joker, Frank Gorshin as the Riddler. These guys really committed to their roles. They just put a lot of energy into it. Catwoman was great, Julie Newmar. And who could forget? I almost did. Burgess Meredith as the Penguin, which apparently was the writer's favorite, and the writers always tried to get more Penguin episodes. And the situations got sillier and sillier as the season went on, also, along with all the jokes and the throwaway lines. Other villains were played by noted actors, Vincent Price, Shelley Winters, Tallulah Bankhead, Ida Lupino was in it. Then Otto Preminger played Egghead. Otto Preminger, who, great director of great film noir like Laura, and another, I guess you'd classify this as film noir, with The Man with the Golden Arm with Frank Sinatra. And then a serious film like Anatomy of a Murder, James Stewart. So, why did they play these? I always wondered, why did they show up? And I think it was because, first of all, it was a very popular show, so they wanted to be part of the popular show. And also, they wanted to be in a show that their whole family could watch. Maybe their kids or their grandkids could watch too. So they must have had a real blast making that show. And what I wanted to show you was the limited edition Blu-ray version is the one I have. And I bought it, first of all, because I'm a fan, of course. And secondly, it was limited, but if you look at the back, at the bottom rather, you'll see it's numbered, and they made 95,000. So I don't know if that's really quite so limited. That's not like 1,000. So they're still available. I've seen this one for as much as $300, or then somewhere else it was like $150. This was like $100, and I bought it a few years ago. And apparently it was very difficult to get this produced. I don't know if it's because the film elements were difficult to work with, maybe they were in bad shape, or if the rights to some of the things. By the way, it's very 60s. Look at the colors here, and those are the colors that pop up all the time in the show. And the Blu-ray is just amazing and so detailed, and some would say almost too detailed, because you see how cheap some of the costumes and some of the props are. And you see smudges on the Batmobile and in the Batcave. So, but I really like seeing that detail. So I recommend the Blu-ray. You don't have to get this one. You can also get just a regular Blu-ray version. I think it's about $60, or just the DVDs. I think each season is $15. There's 3 seasons. But this is the one I like, and they did a lot of, as you can see, they have inside, I think you can see on the flaps, they have the different sayings of the comic book sayings, like pow and bam and wham and all that stuff. And then they have some trading cards here that reflect the original old Batman comic book series. And then there's the Batmobile down here, which of course I have not taken out. I never will, ever. And here's an episode guide, which is really important because it keeps track of where you are and who played in which episode, who the special guest villain was. There's an Adam West scrapbook, which is a bunch of pictures. That's okay. And then you have each season. This is season 2, the one we're on right now. And they did a nice job. You can see there's Catwoman, and there's King Tut, and there's Vincent Price, and I think that's Sid Caesar playing maybe Mr. Freeze in one of the episodes. And then there are the discs inside, and there's 3 of these, one for each season. And we've been watching them during the last several months, we being my son and I. He's 22, and I wasn't sure if he was going to like it or not, but he really likes it. And I asked him finally, well, why do you like this show? And he said, it's got comedy and it's got action. So, fun for the whole family. Anyways, that's my pitch, or my theory of why Adam West was the best Batman. May he rest in peace. And extra credit questions. Are you ready? Here's some extra credit questions. 1, who else played the Riddler besides Frank Gorshin? And in my opinion, did a pretty bad job. And name the 3 actresses that played Catwoman. Okay? Of course you can Google that, but that would take the fun out of it, wouldn't it? So that's it for this video, and thank you for watching. And leave a comment, that'd be great. Leave a thumbs up, that'd be great too. Subscribe, that would be great also. Meanwhile, I think they're coming back. I gotta get back in this closet here before they find me. So next time we'll speak about something else dear to my heart. Usually movies, music, books, and they're coming now. Okay, so I will see you next time. Be well, everybody. Be kind. Follow your bliss. Namaste, all that stuff. And I'll see you next time. I gotta get out of here.